Design blockchain instance. It's not easy. Okay, we'll start right now. Yeah, we'll start now. Design blockchain instance. It is not easy to change the blockchain instance once it has been created because the all the smart contract codes and everything is written into the blockchain. And once anything is written in the blockchain, it is immutable in nature. So you can't change it at all. And deleting it and remodifying it will cost you more. So we need to be very careful during the design of this blockchain instance. The things needed under configuration that are most important for a blockchain instance are the permissions, like who all are the people or the users who have permission and what kind of permission they have. Do they have a right to read the data? Can they write the data? Etc. etc. There are many permissions. The basic exchanges, like how in the atomic level, like how the exchanges are working. Like I've told you that there is a buyer, this is a buyer, this is a seller, there is a code in between them. So how the exchange is done with the money and the plot documents. So the exchanges is basically done. You have to put the money in a data type. It can be integer or something, or a wallet in this smart contract, and then the plot documents together. And then when both are validated, then only this money will be transferred to here and this plot documents will be transferred to here. So these are the basic exchanges. Key management. I've told you that there are two pairs of keys. One is the private key and one is the public key. Okay? So how can you manage these keys? How can you create these keys? There are many algorithms for creating these keys. So there are some key algorithms like the elliptic curve cryptography, which generates two keys. That means a pair of keys, a public key and a private key. And it is very useful because the probability of having the same private key is almost impossible. Then the block parameters. There are some block parameters which you need to consider upon. It can be the difficulty of the block, how much reward the miner gets when he mines the block, etc. Then there are limits. So what are limits? Limits is basically limitations. So you need to first give out some limitations on the blockchain protocol. These limitations can be the block size, like how much data the block can contain, or the total number of transactions, like how many number of transactions can the block contain. These all things are done for limitations so that it can be scalable, because you should always give out the limitations of your project. Otherwise, it will be regretted later, because once it is gone into the blockchain, you can't take it out or manipulate it. So that is a very big limitation, you can say. So for that, you need to give out all the limitations and work in the limitations. Network protocols. The network protocol is basically peer-to-peer network. You need to see like how it works and what is the code connecting this peer-to-peer network to the front end, and all these kind of protocols. Native assets. What are native assets? Native assets are the assets in the blockchain or the smart contract. It can be coins, it can be tokens. Tokens are the main assets which are created. Tokens have mostly a fixed price in any kind of blockchain platform. Build API. What a build API? Like API is application program interface. Okay, it is a set of routines, protocols, and tools for building software applications. So basically an API specifies how software components should interact. It is basically an interaction between your software components and the front end. Additionally, APIs are used when programming graphical user interface, the GUI components. So you need APIs so that it can connect to the backend and you can get all the data from it and show it as needed. The APIs will be used by the front end to communicate to the blockchain and interact with the underlying applications. Okay, some APIs needed, like you need to put them, are the generate key pairs. Like you need to generate the key pairs by some APIs. Okay, then smart contracts. Smart contracts have getter functions so that you can get the value of what is there inside the variables. Obviously, if it is public variable, then only. And then the read and write operations. You need for the read and write operations, you need APIs to connect from to interact from the GUI directly. Then you have the main and the last step, which is the developing the front end. Make front end by the use of HTML, CSS, JS, and many more languages for the users to use the application very easily and with a very good interface. I have told you the application layer is very important. Like the how the user uses it and can the user make out the full potential of the application is what the programmers need to look upon. So you need to make a good front end which can have all the functionalities embedded in it and the user can use all functionalities of this solution. Some external database can also be used like the SQL or the MongoDB. They can be used, not an issue. But then keep in mind that every node should have the databases so that everything is communicated and it should have a distributed ledger with a decentralized network. Remember that. Okay. Thank you.